Fascism takes constant, forceful effort to maintain. It takes rigid discipline and some semblance of intelligence. And Trump has neither of those qualities. Donald Trump is the dumbest and most inept fascist to ever come into power. He will ultimately be his own undoing. As the history of fascism shows, fascism is stupid. It does not last, and it never will because it doesn't make any sense. It benefits only those in control and subjugates the rest. And every time it rises, usually from the ego and psychopathy of one man who lacks empathy and the weak people that surround him, the world rejects it. Fascism is cruel, and it is empty, and it is authoritarian. It is a relinquishment of human rights and free will to the whims of a tyrant, and it goes against everything we claim to be as Americans. Trump and his fascist regime are destined to fail, and the history books will hold them accountable. But that fact doesn't make them any less dangerous. They are feeling the desperation as Trump postures under the control of much more serious and sinister fascists like Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu, and also the illogical decisions of his ill-fated tariff war with China. Multiple times each week, nationwide protests are taking place in the millions, with some major cities like Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., and others having protests almost every day. People are coming together and organizing as a show of numbers and networking, and off the ground are creating and employing new ways to dismantle this fascism on the daily. Trump wants to claim he has ultimate say of the rule of law and then claim himself a king. The people have rejected him. Trump's days are numbered, whether he and his cult believes it or not. Trump has repeatedly threatened to declare martial law, and for years has been trying to normalize him unconstitutionally taking a third term in office. Now, after Republicans have introduced bills to allow him to run a third term, his official website has cemented the intent by selling new Trump 2028 hats. The grift continues, and his cult, who once claimed that Trump was just joking about the notion, and then claimed that regardless if he was joking it could never happen, are now cheering on the idea of having a fascist dictator instead of a democratic president. To Donald Trump, the fascist dictator wannabe, I want to refer to the 2024 film Civil War, and huge spoiler warning if you haven't seen the film, but this is what happens to a president that turns the military against his own people and unconstitutionally takes a third term. Trump's policy is that of ethnic cleansing. While funding and facilitating a genocide of the Palestinian people,
today, people are not surviving in Gaza. Those that aren't being killed with bombs and bullets are slowly dying. People here are being suffocated. What we see around us is endless suffering under a total and complete blockade.
Funding and facilitating a genocide of the Palestinian people, to ethnically cleanse Gaza for a tourist destination built on his idolatry. He has, in tandem with attacking DEI to limit culture and diversity in every aspect of our systems and institutions, has implemented an unlawful and inhumane mass deportation much in line with how the Holocaust began. By spending years demonizing immigrants and others that don't fit in with their rigid ideology.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Blaming them for the problems of the country and using it as justification to send people, regardless if they're an undocumented immigrant or a legal resident, to slave labor camps without due process. And they're doing it all for profit. Every day, it seems a new unconstitutional act is happening. Ignoring the orders of federal courts, eliminating due process, unlawful political imprisonments, censorship of media, attacks against dissenting opinions, threats against universities and their students, the destruction of our social programs, gutting of the federal government that the people pay taxes to maintain so that the systems that run our lives are also then maintained, and the dismantling of democracy. Now, after threatening to go after more checks and balances and arrest judges that block Trump's orders, there's been another step over another line. Wisconsin judge Hannah Dugan was arrested and charged with 2 felonies after helping an undocumented migrant who was set to appear in court that day to avoid the ICE agents that were waiting to kidnap him. Kash Patel posted about the arrest, and in its wake, Pam Bondi released a statement threatening other judges who dared to go against the orders of Supreme Leader Dipshit, continuing their array of scare tactics to force the courts into submission.
Madam, what's happened to our judiciary is beyond me.
Yeah, and they put it all on the line for this. Have you dug into their motive?
They're deranged is all I can think of. I cannot believe, I think some of these judges think they are beyond and above the law, and they are not. And we're sending a very strong message today. If you are harboring a fugitive, we don't care who you are. If you are helping hide one, if you are giving a TDA member guns, anyone who is illegally in this country, we will come after you and we will prosecute you. We will find you.
This administration, all they do is lie and project. They are the criminals. They are the deranged ones. They are the ones who think they are above the law. They have continuously broken the law, continuously ignored the orders of federal courts, have been pissing all over the Constitution, allowing ICE to break into people's homes and arrest people without any warrant at all, have eliminated due process and imprisoned innocent people who are legal U.S. residents or going through the legal immigration process, have deported innocent people to slave labor concentration camps in foreign countries, and now, after repeatedly trying and failing to end birthright citizenship that has been repeatedly blocked by federal courts, have deported at least 3 children who are U.S. citizens. People have to stop pretending that this is anything other than what it is. We are under fascist occupation, and ICE is Trump's personal Gestapo. Anyone who is supporting this cannot call themselves an American, because all of this goes against everything that we claim to be. If you support this, you are the same type of person who would have given Anne Frank's position away. That is not hyperbolic. Open your eyes and speak out against what is happening in this country. These desperate spectacles of cruelty will not stand. This is the work of deeply hateful people clinging to control. This violent, fascist administration is the true enemy to America in the world, led by public enemy number 1. But their days are numbered. Every egregious betrayal of American values and basic morality, every corrupt ploy for consolidating wealth and power, every pillar of democracy attacked, and every innocent person kidnapped or threatened by the fascist regime loses the support of their constituents on the daily. People are waking up. Join the revolution.